Good evening, my dears. Hello, everybody. Traditionally, we do sound check. You hear me good or no? Just a right plus in the chat. And if you hear me good, answer to me on a question. Uh, Near me, fun is working. It's too loud. It's don't have some noise because I can die without fun. Too hot in Ukraine now, in my city. Okay, I see first pluses. After this, Sam Wheeler and Checksfield, Russian C. Hello from Malaysia. Hello, Malaysia. And Mark Garcia traditionally ask me, can you make it a little louder? Yes, I can. I think that now better and microphone will be more close to my mouth. Yeah, I hope that fun doesn't disturb you and always be good. Yeah, much better, thanks. Yes, and in a chat now working Q&A function. If I don't see messages in the chat, I will see it 100% on a Q&A function. But today I have broadcast alone, and it's more easy to me for communicate with the chat, with the auditory, because I can concentrate only on you. I hope that always you are all good, my dears. And I see first question and chat. It's Raz Siana C. Why are Russians so stupid? Because they are Russian. It's the diagnosis. And but no, don't give a lot of question at this moment because I will answer a little later. Main topic of our broadcast is the peace formula, is the very big, no, not very big. For last couple weeks and maybe last months in Ukraine and in international media, we so often see articles about peace in Ukraine, about truce in Ukraine. A lot of Ukrainian influencers start talking about truce and peace or something like this, and I'm analyze this situation. I've watched couple sources or consequences of this, why this speech about peace and truce so popular now. This popularity of truth speech, it's to have some reason, because as you know, 1 month ago, more than 1 month ago, on 15-16 June, it was a peace summit in Switzerland 1 month ago, and after this, articles about peace start coming more often, and some reason why it's often and often in Ukraine, and Ukrainian influencers and bloggers and some deputies or politics start talking about this. We have couple reasons, we have couple sources, and we will discuss on this broadcast about all this reason, about the sources, about consequences of this peace, because nobody don't talk about Ukrainian peace formula. It's about finish of the combat activity. It's about disengaging Russian forces from the territory of Ukraine. No. Everybody talking about peace. We need a peace, but doesn't matter how its peace will come. When is the next exploring video? Last one was awesome. So now I'm working with the video. I don't know what will be next. I think that it will be podcast about general trip in Kyiv, or is the from the hiking, because when we do this content we made one very big mistake. we have no scenario in this moment, and now I'm understand that quality of these videos can be a lower because I had a dream. I waiting from this very big result as I explain it, but at this moment I'm just a check all materials, and that's it. That it's maybe 8 scores from 10, but video will be soon. I hope that in the next week it will be ready. So yes, and as you know, peace in Ukraine is the very global question, and the whole world worries about peace in Ukraine. But how we will go to this peace? Ukrainian peace formula, it's very easy, and I think that for Ukrainian everybody understand how it will be. First point of this is the Russian forces must go out from the Ukraine. Russian soldier, Russian artillery, Russian NATO bases, they must go out, and conflict must be stopped. Not truce for some time, not ceasefire, not ceasefire on some reason of the front or something like this, and other shit. But we're talking about diplomacy. We're talking about diplomacy, and on a diplomacy level, we had a peace summit. It was a very big peace summit. Yes, I know that I'm coming late with the discourse of this event, but more than 160 countries was invited on this summit, and the main target of this summit it was agreement of the Ukrainian and making international view of the peace formula. This summit was happened without Russia because Russia is the aggressor country, and they talking a lot about vision of the peace, about consequences of the peace, about what we do, what we will do after war or something like this. And was invited more than 160 countries, but just come on this event only 103 countries, and as a result of voting of agreement Ukrainian peace formula, 87 country it was they was agree with this, and 16 was disagree, and if we will discussing about countries who voting about this, we can make some solution. We can make I don't know. We can see result of this, that all countries who have pro-Euro, pro-Western position. I can say pro-Western position because now world have only two sides. Pro-Russian position and pro-Ukrainian position. And as you know, Ukrainian position is the pro-Western position because Ukraine wanna be a part of the European Union, wanna be a part of NATO. Its way was chosen by Ukrainian people, by Ukrainian population, but Russian disagree with this, and that's why Russia start conflict, start war in Ukraine, and invade in Ukraine. Yes, and as we see, as a result, this Ukrainian formal of peace was agreement, and vote for this all country, all pro-Western, pro-European country, and all country who don't depend. I think that it's very important to say that country who don't depend from the Russian money, from the Russian fuel, from the Russian gas, and what agree this formula. Don't agree with this formula country who have Russian agencies in a government, and they have pro-Russian position. Maybe they dreaming about I don't know, Russian world in his country, but all civilization world uh, biggest country from the civilization world. I don't mean like Russia or Belarus or something like this. They was agree with the Ukrainian formula of peace is the finish of war, that Russian soldiers leave from all Ukrainian territory, including Crimea. But it was only first stage of this summit. Some people can say that it's the useless, because how you can talk about peace in Ukraine, about finish of war, without second side of the conflicts, without Russia. And yes, maybe it have sense, but it's not true. As a result of the first summit, we will see how countries support us. We will see that Ukraine not alone. We will see that we can make coalition. It's not coalition against Russia, but it's coalition for Ukraine. It's our allies, our friends who vote for us, and we see other country who disagree with Ukrainian position. And I'm just give couple example who disagree with this. Is the country like Bahrain? Is the kingdom Bahrain don't agree with Ukrainian formula of peace? Country like Brazil, they doesn't vote because they was just observer, and Vatican was just observer, but disagree Indonesia, India, Iraq, Jordania, Libya, Mauritania, Mexico, United Arab Emirates, South African Republic, Saudi Arabia, Thailand, and that's all. All these countries, what I count now, what I read now, they disagree without formula and they vote against Ukrainian solution for the peace. And after this peace formula, after this peace summit, Russian give his formula of peace. It's like that Ukrainian soldier must go out from the front line. We must give for them Zaporizhia Oblast, Kherson Oblast, Kharkiv Oblast, Donbass, Donetsk Oblast, Luhansk Oblast, and Crimea. But it's not looks like a peace formula. It looks like a discuss about Ukrainian capitulation. Is they just Russia from the force position, from the strange position, because they have some domination from the. They have some domination on the front line, and they have a position of strength at this moment. And they say that, yeah, we will finish off war if you will just disengage it, yes. But I hope you agree with me, my dears. It's song's really shitty. It looks like real shit. And all country who will come with the, for example, with the African peace formula, when they told same shit that Ukrainian shouldn't fight for his territory, they must go out from the Kherson, from the Donbass, from the Kharkiv or something like this. They a little don't understand that Ukraine, it was a victim of the Russian attack, that were fight for our country, for our sovereignty, for our lands, for our region, and for our people. And this country who support Russian formula of peace or making the same peace formula, they little don't understand the real situation. And yes, and it's shit. We are know this shit. But when President Huilo start talking about that he ready to talk with the President Zelensky about peace in Ukraine, Russian bloggers start talk about this. Russia ready to peace. Russia wanna finish off war. Blah 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 blah. Everybody know that condition of the Russian peace is the shit for Ukraine. It means that Russia have victory, and it's okay that we said no for this Russian peace formula, but not some, all Russian bloggers, all Russian media influencers start talking that Putin ready to the peace, Putin ready to finish of war, blah 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 blah. But bad Ukrainian don't wanna do this. They wanna fight for the last Ukrainian and other shit. And for Russian media space, it's okay when they talk this shit because they have no other position. But very sad that some Ukrainian bloggers start talk about this, that we are need peace at this moment doesn't have how, but we need the peace, we must stop war, but they doesn't know the consequences of this, they doesn't know the result of this. Only one way for peace, it's if Russia will be totally destroyed as a government apparatus, as a government machine. Dictators will go out from the president position, and all his beach deputies and beach politicals, they do go out, and the course of the Russia will change it. It's one way, but Ukrainian bloggers who start talking about Russian peace formula, they don't understand that Russian peace formula is just a small pause. As a result of this peace formula, we will have so many soldiers retired from the army, we will have some problem on a territory who was damaged by war, and Ukrainian economics not will go increasing because we're waiting from our victory that Russian money will come in Ukraine as reparation. They must repair all what they destroyed. But by Russian formula, they give no nothing for us because they are winners from his position. And this Russian peace is just a pause. Maybe on a year, maybe on a 2 year. They do couple mobilization, prepare 1 million army, and start pushing again. They never stop because it's his ideology, it's his politics. Because they Putin are dictators, and Russian army it's invaders, it's occupants. And in a perspective, people who start talking about Russian peace, they don't think about consequences of this, and they don't know that if Russia will push us again, they too will be under occupation. They don't think that when Russia will come, Russia will do mobilization in Ukraine. Yeah, because it's for only one way. It's a worst way in the world. What can happen at that Russia come in Ukraine, occupy totally Ukraine, do mobilization in Ukraine, and Ukrainian people, Ukrainian civilians will go fight for the other Russian army. They will go fight in a European country. I think that at first it will be Moldavia or Hungary, and after this Poland, because Russia is the really mad country. His leader is really mad and stupid, and people who talk about Russian peace way, they too stupid. They not better than Putin in a general, because they don't worried about Ukraine, they worried about only fucking open border and how to avoid mobilization. Yeah, sometimes they talk populistic general shit. We must stop the war because babies suffering, women suffered, but they don't think that his suffers will be bigger when Russia is coming. And yes, we have no way. And how it's work? Ukrainian blogger start talk about this shit. Doesn't mean some influencer on the YouTube. This shit, we have this shit usually on a TikTok and on a Instagram. because not only young people use TikTok in Ukraine, uh, older people too, and in a Telegram on a Telegram channels they start talking about these narratives, and when this psyops start working in Ukraine, what's Russia do? They attack Ukrainian child's clinic, Ahmadet. Everybody heard about missile attack on a Russian hospital on Ahmadet. Maybe some people told that it can be mistake, or some people say that it's Ukrainian bomb in Ukrainian clinic, but no, it's shit. Russian, they know what they do and for what one they do. Uh, by this attack on a civilian infrastructures object, they start to push on a Ukrainian civilian people. They start to push on Ukraine in general, because it's like his last chance to talk strange between civilians. Yes, and they just start to push on a people. People watching this, they watch how suffered kids, how suffered civilian people, that our clinics destroyed, schools destroyed by Russian, and they start talking that, hey, President Zelensky, you must stop it, and we don't know how, but you must stop it, and this was happened not so late after President Putin peace formula, and you have not see a connection between this, because I think that you shouldn't be a very big policy expert or sociologist to understand that Russian do suppression on the civilian people for making panic, for making effect of the tyrants of war, that people start losing sense of war, that they start to looking for the types of the finish of war, and in any way they try to finish a war in any way, and it's have very bad influence, because army is the front line, is the people who fight for Ukraine, who fight for freedom, and they need the support. First support for the Ukrainian army is the Ukrainian people, it's Ukrainians. And if Ukrainians will think that Frontline have no sense, that Frontline is the problem for people, because it's my personal experience on a Donbas. When you come on a some city, and local pro-Russian people say that Russian bombing us because you are here. It's a result, and this is small Russian victory when civilian people think that we do shit and we do something wrong, and one way to finish war is to just stop fire. President Zelensky, when he just start his work as a president, he too think that if we just stop fire, all will be finished. He changed this position because it doesn't work. It doesn't work with the Russian, because if you stop fire, it means that Russia will have some time for the do reinforcement, for do regroup and attack again. No way, no way. And some people don't understand this. I don't know why. No, I know why, but this we will talk a little later. And what we have on this moment, after all this Russian political shit, after Russian attacking on the civilian infrastructures, but you must understand, they not firstly attack Ukrainian infrastructure. They do it not firstly. We have a lot of examples of the Russian attack, of the Russian bombing in Kharkiv, in Kyiv, in Zhytomyr, in all cities of Ukraine. When Russian, I forgot surname of this colonel, report every day that they destroyed a military factory or military storage or something like this, but they destroyed school in Lviv, or I don't know, clinic in a Vinnytsia, or just a civilian house in a Dnipro. It's not firstly, but you must feel connect between this attack on Ahmadiet and between Putin's shit formula. And they made a artificial effect of the tyrants from war for the civilian people, and it's the very bad. It's the big Russian success, and it's the very bad. But what we can do as Ukrainian, we have ways, and I think that we will be ready for talk with the Russian when we will occupy strange position, force position. Not strange position, position of strange. I'm sorry, is the different senses. And yes, when we will have success on a front line, and we have success on a front line, for example, in the Crimea, when Azov brigade with the Burevik brigade start offensive on a Crimea, they destroyed they destroyed a lot of Russian position, and they back Ukrainian territory. It's success, and Russians start understand. Yeah. Thanks, Borstville. And Russia understand that we are able to attack, we are able to offensive. When in a Ukrainian high commandings will do some changes, and they will make some decision about this, when they review his tactics, and we will have success in the front line, Russia will understand that they lose his strong position, position of strength, and we will be dominate our Russia. And on the next peace summit, as presidents told, that Russia will be invited on the next summit. And in the next summit, if we will have this position of this strong position, maybe it will be success. Maybe Russia will understand. But what we need for this? Yeah, it's songs. Can songs very sad. But some percent of this success depend from the our partners, from the United States from the European Union we need more tanks, we need more jets, we need more ammunition. And first of all, it depends from Ukraine. From Ukraine. Yeah, maybe for me, it's strange to me when you told that some country do not enough for the Ukrainian victory. At first, Ukraine do not enough for the Ukrainian victory, because as Ukrainian, I'm very grateful for the all country who give a help for Ukraine, for the old European country who give money, who give ammunition, who give vehicle. Doesn't matter, we are grateful, and they shouldn't do this, but they do this. First persons who must be interested in Ukrainian victory, it's Ukrainian. And if we will start dominate on a front line, and we will occupy strong position of strength, it can be success. But Russia just suppressing us on a front line, and they suppressing civilian population, and so many civilians who don't give a fuck about war. They just check TikToks or Instagram shitty account and see that Putin ready to peace. They say, hey, watch this, Putin ready to peace. They just feeding Russian psyops about war to the last Ukrainian or bad NATO country who wanna kill Ukrainians and make a Ukrainian slave in his country is just a shit. But it's mean that Russia have success on a informational war in his propaganda. And it's a very sad. Ukrainian is the first people who must work for the Ukrainian victory. But maybe in the first year of war it was, yeah, we have this. But at this moment we see that shit happens in Ukraine. Because so many people try to avoid mobilization. They don't think that mobilization in Ukraine it's just a fucking reinforcement for the army, is the defending of country. So many people think that if they will go to the army they just die. Is the very wrong position, and it's result of the bad Ukrainian propaganda. We must understand that word propaganda it's not something bad. Is the propaganda is the like a tool for the influence on the people, on the mass, on a some groups of people or something like this, and result of this it's in propaganda. It's like a informational politics, informational politic, and Ukrainian informational politic it's have no position, because Ukrainian telemarathon they talk a lot about war, but if you watching news about war report from Frontline, when soldier guys talking on the TV, yeah they talk real good things, yeah that is the really good that we have opportunity to show people what's going on. But normal question after this, and what? We see that we have some combat activity on the front line, and what? And what we will do with this information? We're just wasting time when we don't make narratives for the people, and we don't push these narratives in a mass to the civilians. And general narratives it must be that we must fight for the Ukrainian sovereignty and for Ukrainian territory and for Ukrainian people. And when you go on a war, it doesn't mean that you go fight for the president or for the or something like this, or for politicians. If you go fight, you go fight for your family, for your house, for your land, for all women's, for all children of Ukraine, but not the politics ambitions. Only I don't know. Maybe this thing that everybody who fight he fight for politics or something like this, they are really stupid. Is the very sad that we have people like this who thinking like this, but it's true. So a lot of people thinking that war have no sense, and it's success of Russia. It's success of the Russian propaganda, because Ukrainian people think like this. They forgot that war in Ukraine is the defending war, and we defending our countries against occupants, and it's very sad. We had a very big problem with the Ukrainian propaganda position. I hope that you agree with me. I understand that you are too far from this. You are too far from the mood of the Ukrainian civilians. But now is the really shitty situation. It is the now Ukrainian civilians mood. Not all, but very big percent is they are under fucking influence of the Russian propaganda, and this is and it's Russian success, and our mistake, at first our mistake. It's not mistake of the United States, because they give not enough, because they don't give F-16s. No, it's at first it's mistake and problems of the Ukrainian people. We must be grateful to the countries, to the partners country, that they give for us something. They shouldn't do it because they do it for your money, for his taxes. No. At first we must think about yourself, and every people must understand what's me personally do for the victory. If they want a victory, if they don't want a victory, I think that one way is just go in a Russian or go in a occupied territory like on a Donbass or something like this, and go live there. Not, not chance. If you don't want to fight for Ukraine, if you talk shit about Ukraine, if you don't see sense of Ukrainian victory, one way is just going on a fucking pro-Russian country. Not in a Europe, not in a Germany, not in a Poland, not in a Great Britain. If you don't understand what's price of democracy in Ukraine, only one way, it's going in a Russia. Because so many people talking shit about Ukraine, talking about Ukraine democracy, blah blah blah, and something like this. They leave from the country, and when they have pro-Russian position, but they live not in a, they move not in a Russia, they move not in a Belarus, they go in a Poland, they go in a Germany, in Switzerland, in Swiss, they go in a European country. And yeah, as a result, we have now what we have. Soldiers fight, soldiers die for them, and these people don't grateful, and they don't understand for what they do it, and it's only his problem, because these people don't understand how it when you lose all what you have. Yeah, it's so sad, but it's true, it's the real situation. I understand that it's not only Ukrainian situation, because when Blaže was on a broadcast, on a previous broadcast, and we talked about Uhelyans, he said that in Poland, for example, will be same shit, and in all country will be same shit. It's because it's not about pacifism or something like this. It's about people who doesn't have a position. Is the neutral people. I will. It's like a slave ideology. He need a chief, he need a owner, and he will do what this owner wanna from him. It will be same as Russian. This Ukrainian neutral people is the same shit like Russian people. Yes, is the very big hate speech. It's not popular thing, but you know, I have more respect for the people who have position against, because he have some arguments for this. But for people who have no position, I have no respect. No one. I'm shit only way for those people. It's only way to the Russia or Belarus. It was my 40 minutes hate speech. I hope that you agree with me, but it's a not popular things, you know, it's the not popular things. If you don't agree, I'm just awaiting comments from you in a chat, and we will discuss about this. But it's just a situation for today. And it depends from every Ukrainian, from civilian. If every Ukrainian will not understand this, we will too far from the victory. But when all understand what's going on, it will be success. It will be our success, and it's made way to the victory more easy. written aus by fight. I don't think anyone really believes Russian lies. No, they believes. They believes because Russian media influence TV influence very much strong. Because when I was young, 15 years ago, we doesn't have no one. Oh, no, we had, but it was Ukrainian TV show wasn't so popular. We're watching Russian movies, we're watching Russian series. We think that part of the Russian culture is the part of Ukrainian culture, and people who was growing on this shit, they believe in Russian shit. They believe because in those time when they have opportunity to ferment his own position, they was under Russian influence. And I'm very happy when I took education, we avoid all Russian shit. And I was growed by Ukrainian tradition. I took education by Ukrainian pro-European traditions and in a pro-European way. But a lot of people, and biggest part of these people is the people who older than 35 years, they believe in this shit. Maybe because bad education, maybe because they never do something in his life, they just work and that's all. They don't interested in police, in politics, because it's the very very shitty answer when people say to us that they not interested in politics. If you are not interested in politics, politics will interesting in you, you know. And this neutral position is the shit, is the real shit. Yeah, now I will check to chat. So many very, very good activity. Thanks for your activity, my dears. A lot of comments. I see that this topic interesting for you. Thanks for the activity in a chat. Don't forget to push like button. And I will check chat. I don't know. Maybe I will go in a Q&A function. Raz Siana C. What is the difference between a regular and Russian flu? Ah. Question. What is the difference between a regular and Russian flu? Answer. You get sick from a regular flu, but some Russians flew out the window. Okay, thanks. Q&A function, it's not your question and your answer, it's questions to me, but thanks, Rush Siana C. Sam V, do you think that Russia will advance further in the Zaporizhia? Sam V, very difficult question about Zaporizhia, but as for the last day we see that Russians have some successes in a small villages in Zaporizhia. I will open this deep state. I'm long time don't open it deep state, that we understand that Russia have directs of attack, and we have very big gray zone on a Zaporizhia region, and we understand that group of Russian forces in Zaporizhia, they are strong, and they are really strong for the defense activity. But now, if you are watching Western's blogger who talk about war in Ukraine, like reports or something like this, because I don't do this, because I can't say that I'm a and I'm an expert on all front line. Yes, but Ukrainian may think that between military, it's only military opinions. Maybe some political expert will not agree with me that now main direct of the pushing of Russia is not Donbass. is the territory of the Chasiv Yar, because Chasiv Yar territory, it's real hell, is the Bakhmut directs like a Spirne, and it's Bilogorivka. I mean is the Luhansk and Donetsk fragment of the front line, and in a Kharkiv, because they have success, they push in a Kharkiv region, they fight for the Vovchansk, they fight on a Глибоке, on a Lukyantsy, on a Liptsy, but main direct on the attack at this moment it's not Zaporizhia, it's Donbass. Because at this moment, for today, yes, when we talk about situation on the front line, they have in general tactical success, small success, and you must understand that these small villages, small fields, have no very big influence in a general situation on the front line. But biggest strength of attack is the Donbas region. Now they pushing really much. From Donbas direct. And as you know, now for Donbas we have fights for New York, for example. Half years ago, New York, it was a real rear. I mean, it was a supply zone. It was 50-50 safety, but now we have fights in a city in New York, and is the very bad. By this picture, we can understand that main direct of attack is the Donbas region. Yeah, New York in Donetsk region, not New York in United States. Question from the BT clan. OPSEC, are you still in uniform or transitioned out and serve as civilian with the Batman? No, I'm not in a uniform. It's a civilian t-shirt. Is the AK-74 Kryat give me this t-shirt? This from above. I'm still on active service, and no, I'm not go out from the service. I think that I will not go out from the service until our victory. We have no chance. Question from the UPU2408. Hi Pasha, is it possible that Moscow will fight until it collapses? Negotiation will only buy more time for Moscow? Yes, probably yes, because it's a typical Russian scenario. We will. I know that you are not remember, but same situation was in Chechnya. When they had negotiation, they had a fucking a peace pact that Russian forces will go out from the territory of Republic of Ichkeria, always be good. They promised to the leader of Ichkeria, Jahar Dudayev, that war will finish it, but they again attack Republic of Ichkeria after 1 year. With Ukraine will be same situation, will be same shit, because it's Russia. It's Russia is the very how choose right word, is the very cunning enemies. Yes, and it's too dangerous. Have some peace or ceasefire with them, because it's just a opportunity to regroup, to make the reinforcement, to prepare it attack groups or something like this. Same shit was in the first years of war. Fucking Minsk. How договоренности? Fuck, I will translate this word. Minsk agreements, you know, how it was in 2014, 15, 16, 18 and 19. We told it about ceasefire, but Russian still at this moment shoot on a Ukrainian territory, and they don't cease fire, they don't move his forces from the front line. Yes, because they say that is the not Russian regular forces, but everybody know that Army Corps of DNR and LNR is the shitty republic, fake republic. It was totally under Russian control, and Russian generals commanding there, and they don't work by Minsk agreements. They attacks, and they continues do shit after Minsk agreements. No. It's no chance to talk with Russia. It doesn't have sense. Hey Pasha, how did New York get named? uh, Very interesting. New York is the village, no, not village, is the city on the Donetsk region before they was named New York in 2021. It was Alexandrivska or Novhorodska. But if I don't mistake, first name New York. Is the historical name of this village. I'm just check Wikipedia articles, and they name it that they writing that in a 19th century, in 1816 years, this village had the name New York because this village was Germany's колония немецких поселенцев. And it's a historical name. I don't know what's the reason of this, but it's the historical name. And after this, it was Novhorodska, Alexandrivka, but it was political decision to back his historical name. But it's the funny, New York in Donbass. Yeah, it was named Novhorodska, yes. A lot of Ukrainian city with the historical name was renamed during Soviet Union period, during period under Russian crown. So many people, so many cities was renamed, but New York is the historical names, and this village had these names since 19th century. But it's not surprise, and it's not small parody on Americans New York. I will send article on a Wikipedia for you who are interested in a history of this city. I will send articles because I just it's link on a Wikipedia. If you wanna, you can push on this link and read articles about New York. I don't, because I personally don't have so big historical base of this science base. And the question from Mark Garcia: how do most people in Ukraine get their news? Newspaper, TV, radio, internet? Which is most popular? We must for answering on this question, we must make some category: younger people, older people. Main sources. I think that it's not a secret that main sources of the news in Ukraine is the Telegram channels. Telegram, but very next one it's maybe will be two social networks like Instagram. Maybe after this it will be internet magazines, and only after this TV and YouTube. Maybe after Telegram it's YouTube, but TV in Ukraine it's not so popular, and magazines and gazettes it's not so popular too, because only I think that older people read this, and the TV watching too. I think that biggest person who watching TV is the older people, because I'm personally doesn't watch TV, doesn't watch, because I have no TV antenna on my flat, the first, and I'm watching only YouTube, and get news from the Instagram and the Telegram channel. Uh, sometimes I'm reading news websites. They say forces have increased and they are now 520,000 Russian soldiers and 4,000 tanks. Is that because everything is now Ukraine? No reserve in Russia? I think that it's the wrong data. It's 500,000 soldiers, it's only on the front line in Ukraine. They probably have reserve. 100% that they have reserve, because only last mobilization it was more than 300,000 people. They have reserve, it's 100%. And maybe this 4,000 tanks is the not new generation, but 18th, 17th year. But Russia had a lot of metal, is unlimited numbers of metal, and unlimited number of the people, because this country have 100 million people population. It is the shitty that they have no reserve. Maybe they have no ready for fight reserve. It's more looks like like true, because so many Russian soldiers who was on the Ukraine, they or die or wounded, and mobilization and people who was mobilized, they come on a front line without experience and or die or survive. And now they more experienced, but is the shit information that Russia have no reserve. They do two or three mobilization for the last 2 years. They have reserves is 100%, and we must understand. We must be ready for this, because it will be very bad if or general Ukrainian think is the it will be if Russian have only 500,000 soldiers, and that's all. Not it's not all. If they needed, they mobilized 1 million people, and these 1 million people will attack Ukraine with the sticks, without weapons. But if Russian government will need it, they will do this. Is the very position. Is the very position if we will trust that Russia have no reserves. They have reserves. Is 100%. Okay, we'll go. I think that um, Mark, question from the Mark Garcia. Previous was two from you, yeah, if I don't mistake. Yeah, previous two was from you, Mark Garcia. Popular question givers. In the city, what are the 4 or 5 most popular cars? In the city, I think that is the Volkswagen Golf. Golf 4 is the car of start of the 21st century from 2000 to 2004 years. Volkswagen Golf. It's cheap car and very popular between young people and elder people. I will show this. Is the Deo Lanas. No, in city it's not so popular. Wait. I need to show this popular car because if yeah, I will show. Yeah, I think in my opinion maybe it's Volkswagen Golf is the too much popular. Maybe Kia Sorento or Kia Rio. Volkswagen Passat, I think. And old and shitty BMW from the 19s and start of 2000s because it's not too expensive, I think. Because when we talk about popular cars, it's a very difficult question. Budget cars, in general, budget cars. Normal budget for the car, for the typical Ukrainian man, is the car from $4,000 to $10,000 is the typical car budget. But when we answer on the question what's cars popular, we do start make a category of people. Is the young people, young boys, young women, or more adult people? But I think that all Germany's car from the 20 years car is the more most popular cars in Ukraine, because in Poland you can buy it for the $1,500 and it will be cheap and good. All in Ukraine, all old and cheap car are popular, but I doesn't mean that Ukrainian people drive shitty car. No, we have so many expensive car and the good cars, but between people is the like a народна машина. It's maybe old Germany's car. Skoda, Volkswagen. Yes, they are popular. Zhiguli is not popular in a city. You can't see so often Zhiguli. It's maybe one Zhiguli for 100 cars. Mark Garcia, again you. What percent of the country is affected by electric blackout because of the damage to the power plants? All country was affected from the by electric blackout. All the country, because for regulators energy system, all country had blackouts. Some cities had longest blackouts, some cities had shorter blackouts, but all countries doesn't matter. Is the Kiev, is the Kharkiv, is the Kirovograd, doesn't matter. All cities had blackouts, but if you more closed to the some energy sources, you have more shorter blackouts, but in a general, on all country had blackouts because at first it's economy of the electro energy and it's the I must translate this word and this load reduction of the energy system. All cities had blackouts. Maybe western city, western city in Ivano-Frankivsk region, in the Volynsk region, something like this. They have no blackouts as we in the center of Ukraine, but all country what affected by blackouts. Yes, MV, you're right. It depends from the region because, for example, when I was in my village in Kharkiv, I have no electricity, something like 6 hours per day. When I come back in the Kirovograd region, I had no electricity 10 hours per day. At this moment for today, for example, today I had electricity all day, but tomorrow I will be without electricity 2 hours. It depends from the regions. Probably depends from the regions. KMC, do you see people going back to old ways, storing food without fridges, restoring old wood burning stoves, ovens in their homes? In city, it's too much difficult, and in a city, people tolerate it, sometimes using extra sources of the energy. They buy something like EcoFlow for the save, for the give electricity to his fridges. But in a villages, yes, it's work. For example, my mother, if she understands that blackouts will be too long, she storing food pogreb. I don't know how it like a basement or something like this. Yes, is in cellar. She store food in a cellar because cellar enough cold for the keeping food. Or restoring old wood burning stoves, yes, 100%. In a villages people do this, but in cities it's unreal because 98% of people who live in a city in a flats, they have no burning stoves. But in villages, yes, it's 100% people do this. They buy stoves, they keep food in cellars, in basements, and yes, it's true. People back that they do to this lifestyle. Jebo Nova root cellar, we would say, yes, maybe root cellar. Mhm. Right house by fight. So, are you guys still going out to restaurants that have outdoor seating and enjoying life at any way? Uh, in Ukraine, we had no 1 minute when this lifestyle was stopped. No 1 minute. Biggest part of the city in Ukraine, they are totally peaceful, and we will try to show this in our next videos. And yes, people still can have relax in the restaurants, in the some places. Yes, we wasn't stop this on a one days. But yes, me for example have no time for the restaurants because today all day I was on my job, and at night I have time with you, my dears. But yes, if you have time, if you have money, you can go to the restaurants, you can go to the hotel, you can do an inside tourism of Ukraine. Life in Ukraine doesn't stop. You must understand this. If I have opportunity to do broadcast, if I have opportunity to play computer game, is the same shit that I have opportunity to go in a restaurant. Is the same shit. Life isn't stop. Pump House, BT Clan said. Yeah, maybe is the good name. Maria, Russia going downhill with sanction and refinery going out of service. Biggest part of refinery going out of service because Ukraine destroyed it. We must understand it. But yes, sanction it's not about European country give a sanction and on the next day your country is bankrupt and have no money. It's about long perspective and it looks like true when after 2 years under sanction Russia lose money and lose something by this sanction. And yes, this okay is the way for them. I hope that in one day all Russian will wake up and will they see that they can't buy something because his inflation, инфляция, короче, his inflation destroyed his ruble. Sorry, my dear. SMV, what computer game would you play? Oh, difficult question because I'm a high experienced old gamer because I'm playing a computer game from my childhood, and usually we playing with my guys in Arma 3. Sometimes it's the military simulators, and I play in some shitty popular games like Dota 2 or Witcher 3. I have a very strong Steam account with 200 games, and I'm every time have games for playing. Or Mountain Blade Bannerlord. It's too very interesting. Maybe I will make a Twitch account. Yeah, and on a Twitch account I will play and same as here I will talk shit. Safedes, can you opine about Krinke? What was accomplished? If you can't, I understand. I can't because I wasn't on a Krinke, and Krinke is the mm, how I can describe this. There are things that are not talked about. You know, is the very difficult question, and I think that if people who wasn't on a Krinky will talk about Krinky, I don't wanna talk shit. You know, it's I don't wanna talk shit and don't wanna give a wrong information. When it will be open at the society, the community, it will be open at the society, at community. But at this moment, I can't talk something because at first I don't know. I will not talk about I don't know. BT clan influenced inflation. I I have problems with pronouns of inflaция. In Ukrainian English it's inflaция. Inflation. Too much difficult for me to pronounce this word. Sorry. Inflat. No, I will not repeat this. Sorry. I will watch. It's the shame for me. Inflation. I will write this word. I will not say it again. It's the shame. Oh my Jesus, I'm sorry. This, I mean this word. Okay, you understand what I mean? You understand what I mean? Inflation. How Google will say this? No, no, no. Okay, forgot about this. No, inflation. Yes, Guardian Gypsy, inflation. Thanks so much. Yeah. Oh, English. It's not. I mean, it's not about English. It's I must to stop ганьбити. I don't know. I must to stop disgrace this language. Inflation. Yeah, okay, stop with it. Inflation. I understand. Sammy, you should hear me say подобається. Yeah, I think that with the Ukrainian pronunciation it will be same shit, but your Ukrainian's more better than my English. Stop with this word. Oh, okay. I will check Q&A function. Maybe some people. Yeah, I'm seeing some new question. Sam V question from Sam V. What you would do if Volkswagen cars no longer existed? Me personally do suicide. It's unreal. Volkswagen forever. No, I'm just told. It's just a one case. Why I talked about golf? Because I see golf on the streets too often. Because it's cheap, and yes, Skoda, old Audis, old Germany's car, old European cars very popular in Ukraine. But is the only Ukrainian shit? Maybe not only Ukrainian. Maybe some poor country do it same. We buy American broken car on some platforms. And some true American car like a Jeeps, like a Volkswagen who made it only for America, like Volkswagen Atlas and other cars what was in United States and was broken in United States and sold in United States for shitty money, for real shitty money. You can buy car in United States for example, $1,000, paid for the shipping by sea, by ocean, and use it in Ukraine. Ukrainian repair it in Ukraine and use it in Ukraine. Ukrainian people very often do this. they buy a car in United States, because in United States it's very cheap. Do Ukraine make cars? We had couple factories is the ZAZ and something like the other company Deo in Ukraine, but it's the shitty cars. Is the rudiment when people talk that we must support Ukrainian cars dealer because it's the shit. If you mean about civilian cars, is the shit, but we have a really strong trucks is the cross. We have really strong tractors company. We have, when we talk about heavy cars, Ukrainian is the have very good cars. But when we're talking about cars for civilian, is the shitty. Lanos is the shitty. ZAS is the shitty. It's only my opinion. But in Ukraine, civilian cars too bad. But trucks and heavy cars, tractors and other shit is in Ukraine very good. Yeah, doesn't make mistake when them say word shit. Next question. RF from United States. Do you know if the power situation is better in Ukraine now? I read that has been improving a little better because some reactors on the Ukrainian power station was refurbished, was refreshed and turned off after reglaments maintenance and after bombing and shooting. Situation a little better, but still shitty. We have not enough electricity and that's why we have blackouts. But situation is better and that's why we have not very long blackouts. And that blackouts as it was 2 years ago in Kiev when I have electricity only 2 years per day at winter. And yes, but situation little better. But I can't say that we totally fix this. I'm start to understand that Suffer Death is the real true fan of Ukrainian music and Ukrainian groups. I'm really understand that Suffer Death at this moment know more Ukrainian musicians groups more than me. Pasha, do you know are there any documentary films made about, for example, of the battle of Hostomel report? If there is, can you give a recommendation? We have a lot of documentary films. I watched one about Hostomel airport, but for today, documentary is about something. I'm not agree with all because how problem we have some structures, for example border guard will do a documentary about border guard soldiers in those object, airborne will do documentary about airborne guys object, and armed forces will make about infantry guys on those object, for example. And I don't know, data and information in this three documentary can be different. And at this moment, documentary looks good, looks interesting, and you can see other visions, but in general, I don't trust too much to the some documentaries. But I have no recommendation at this moment about modern uh, combat zone. But yeah, I have one is the documentary about Rubizhne. I was one of the hero of this documentary. Is difficult question. If you need this, if you need recommendation, I will watch it. Yeah. So, for example, 20 Days in Mariupol. I forgot about this documentary, but yes, uh, if you want a list of the documentary, I think that it's possible to do it, but it's too difficult now. Remember someone. But for me now, when I'm watching documentary about places where I was, it's sometimes it's very funny, you know, when I'm watching documentary about Kiev defense, I'm laughing really because every people wanna say I was there, no, I was there, we do this, other people say it, we do this, and really people don't understand who was there and who was do, and that's why I don't see the documentary at this moment because informational from the any sources they make shit in your head. This mix it's too much difficult to understand really, and when I'm watching documentary about Kiev defense I'm laughing. Okay, my dears, thanks that you are coming on our broadcast. Thanks for activity. Thanks that you was with us. I hope that it was a little interesting format today. I think that today was very comfort formal. Yeah, format. 40 minutes we talks about politics shit, but I don't like talk about this. But yes, I should do this today because you must understand real situation, what's going on with the civilian now and how they feed Russian psyops. But yes, I told that it's you need to know this. And thanks that the for good question of the Q&A function. Thanks, my dears. Thanks for activity in the chat, and thanks who are support us. Your support is the very important, my dears. Have a nice day. Have a nice night. Who have night, day who have day, or what you have now. Have what you have. See you later, my dears. Thanks for activity and waiting for the new videos from us. I promise that it will be so soon. Thanks, my dears. See ya.